This is what some members of the obedient movement, this is what they're saying. They're saying that Peter Obi is not ready to be part of a dollarized primaries. Don't you think the coalition is already disorganized in this?
I'll say this. I respect the obedient movement tremendously. What that movement has been able to achieve in the past few years in this country is remarkable. What that movement now needs is the ability to put itself within a platform and push that platform forward. Pre-independence, we had the Zikist movement. Okay, the Zikist movement was very, very strong, but then it moved and coalesced into the NCNC, and that is when they began to express themselves politically. I think the obedient movement at this point should change from a movement and become a political party. Now, when it comes to this dollarized, nobody wants to participate in dollarized primaries. What really wins primaries is not the dollars you bring. We know people who brought dollars, in the last primaries in PDP. They've always brought the dollars. Atiku Abubakar has always defeated them. And the reason is, Atiku Abubakar is a team player. And that's why I say when it comes to structure, we have no fears. Okay? We have zero fears. I can say this for a fact. Atiku Abubakar will win party primaries without spending a kobo of his own. Because the moment there are people who bank on Atiku Abubakar's goodwill to win gubernatorial elections. There are people who will bank on Atiku Abubakar's goodwill to win senatorial elections. Okay? People will commit themselves for Atiku Abubakar. But when people focus, the primaries was dollarized, the primaries was nairaized or was poundized, focus on what you yourself can do. Atiku doesn't need to spend in those elections. Atiku's clout is what brings it in. And again, it's a strong point for him because he is the kind of leader who, perhaps I should say that he did not need to let me know that he wanted to leave PDP. But about 6 months before he left, he was in London. I was also, in the city, and he called me and said, and we had that discussion, and he mentioned that this was what was going to happen. And I say that to say that he's somebody who carries people along, and people trust him, people can look up to him. So wherever he is, whichever party he is in, there are people who are willing to go the extra mile for Atiku. So it's not about dollarized. Nobody wants to participate in dollarized primaries. But a popular candidate will always remain a popular candidate.
The feeling is that Atiku, this is an Atiku coalition, and the fear is that Atiku is going to buy the primaries. Buy the ticket. Even though
Atiku Abubakar has been very,
those are the feelers.
Atiku Abubakar has been very, very careful not to project himself left, front, and center of this. But again, when you are big, you are big. You can't, Atiku Abubakar cannot be in a coalition, and people would naturally say it's an Atiku coalition. But I will say this, that every effort is going to be on making sure that everybody is pulled along. That has always been Atiku Abubakar's style.